Welcome, everyone. I want to talk about ego because I see a lot of misunderstanding about ego. And it can be very dangerous if you misunderstand ego and what certain people mean when they say ego and to get rid of ego, specifically from Hindu context, Vedantic context, yogic context. So from the West, we have our understanding of ego to be like Sigmund Freud's definition. So just our personality um, that just runs and kind of holds information about our life, our likes and our dislikes, um, our gender, our sexuality, or how many family members we have, or something like that, or how we tend to interact socially, whether we're an introvert or an extrovert. Um, and so we think of that and we think we need to get rid of all that when someone says kill your ego. And it's not true. So what the word that is most often used for ego in the Vedantic and yogic context is ahamkara. So that is a Sanskrit word. Aham means I or self, and kata has the same root as karma, which is that kri, so it transforms into kar, and then that essentially refers to action or doing or making. So ahamkara means it refers to a function of the mind, so it's not even an entity or a thing, or it's not a noun, it's an action, it's a verb. So it refers to a function of our mind that firstly makes an I and then attaches it to something. So we have the ego and then the object of egoism, which can be our body or our mind, or both. Or we can even get into having a conception of reality, a conception of Brahman, a conception of void, a conception of awareness, and we make an ego out of that. And then we're kind of like a person who's Brahman or a self who's Brahman rather than just the reality straight as it is. Um, so that's definitely a big misconception. And what is the reason of understanding this? So if we consider our personality to be the ego and we want to get rid of it, what is the way we're going to want to get rid of it most? What is the way we're going to try most often? We're going to think, we're going to have these thoughts of, I was born here, I'm going to do this kind of thing. And we'll be like, no, that's egoic, that's egoic, that's egoic, I can't do that. Or you'll want to listen to a nice song, and you're like, no, that's egoic, I don't have any desires. And so you end up with the mind which is just attacking itself, and it gets twisted up into knots. And that can manifest. You can have tension headaches and panic attacks. And if you have issues with dissociation, derealization, depersonalization, depression, anxiety, you want to be careful with um, your definition of ego and what you're doing with what you consider the ego to be. Um, so what's a way to approach this healthily? In my experience, the best way is to understand your personality is not going to go away. By association with the body and sense organs, you inherently are going to have sense attractions, aversions, likes, and dislikes. That's going to hurt and that's going to feel good. That's going to sound terrible. That's going to sound good. You're going to interact socially in a certain way. just spontaneously by the way you were brought up, the culture, your inherent traits. Um, you're gonna talk a certain way, have a certain accent, you were born a certain way, you have a certain skin color. Those are all gonna be there. Um, so it's to accept all of that, um, to integrate that into the divine as an expression of the divine, to to understand that in itself, that your personality as conceived of as you as a separate localized individual, completely different and individual from everything else, that's the mistake, where the ego attaches the self and closes everything down onto that, and it becomes like boxed in. You can't see in front of you. You can't see like what's really going on in reality. Um, so separating, loosening the sense of self in a healthy way can help you avoid uh, negative consequences, and um, it can help you integrate faster. For instance, some things I used are service to others. So, um, putting others before yourself, uh, and definitely not ignoring yourself. If you have limitations, take care of yourself. Um, so you're not like working yourself to the bone to take care of others, but you care about others. You see someone drop something, you say, "Hey, can I pick that up?" Or would you like some help? Or someone who the the classic helping an old lady cross the street kind of situation. But one thing I always recommend is to ask, "Hey, would you like me to help you?" Because not everyone wants to be helped, and some might find it offensive that you're helping them actually. So definitely always ask and establish some kind of consent. Communicate that in whatever way you can, before just rushing over. That helps to remove self also, because you're not like being a savior, making it about you. You're making it about the other person. So that removes focus from yourself, you see, in a natural and easy way. Another way is to know like your actions, your life outcomes, the results of your work, um, are all controlled and organized by the supreme being, by the universe itself, and that uh, you can't necessarily control whether you become a millionaire or these things. So um, accepting that helps you become more calm and accepting of whatever does come, because like you can work towards something, you can work as hard as you want, but that doesn't always guarantee positive outcome. I mean, a meteor could fall at any point, a hurricane, all natural disasters. You could get in an accident, or your boss is having a bad day and fires you, um, or you were having a bad day and got fired because you did something wrong. Um, so, so what is the point of this discussion to begin with? Um, Really, it's about ensuring that you're not creating unnecessary tension in your mind, and that you can heal yourself on the level at which the pain arose. So, for instance, you have a victim mentality that inherently is on the personal level. So you have to heal it on the personal level. You can't just deny and say, "Oh, I am beyond pain. So, what does this pain matter?" Because then it's just gonna fester and get worse. Um, my favorite thing to do is just to offer whatever I experience, whatever I do, whatever I eat when I'm cooking, to know it's all the Supremes, that the Supreme Being ultimately, rather than me as an individual, a small localized individual, is the proprietor, is the owner, is the controller. And so I know not everyone is of that inclination, and otherwise you can just remove your ownership anyway. That even if you don't believe there's a supreme being, you know this is just here. It's not yours per se. It belongs to the universe, the greater universe itself. Like, did you produce that iron? Did you produce that metal? Did you, um, you know what I mean? Did you make that tree? Did you produce the earth you're standing on? Is it really yours? Um, so that kind of thing too. Um, just remove the focus from your personality so you can be more expansive, open, calm. And that leaves room for relaxation, which leaves room for focus, which leaves room for deep meditation, which leaves room for realization. So, and realization is realizing you are inherently something much more than the personality. Um, and then you can really begin to peel back all of that self attachment to things, to the personality, to the body, to all of it, in a healthy way, in an easy way. Another thing that's great is just a daily sitting in silence meditation practice. Um, I am a Kriya yogi, and my guru has tons of easy meditation techniques, just like very simple breathing and a specific kind of breathing that activates your relaxation response rather than the fight or flight response. And it's something that he's talked about psychologists use with children, especially traumatized children. So I can put that down below, and you can start utilizing that 5-10 minutes a day, and I think you'll be blown away. It's very uh, fast working. Um, so yeah, take it step by step. Don't be too hard on yourself. Especially with this. This is probably one of the biggest stumbling blocks that in the modern day I've seen, is misunderstanding ego and what to do with it. So, uh, happy travels, happy meditation, um, happy journeying, uh, happy discoveries. Um, Anything else? I think I'm good. I think that's it. Um, I hope that was informative. If it was, please leave a comment. If it wasn't informative, please leave a comment. Let me know how I can do better. And if you liked it, hit the like button maybe. And subscribe because I plan to make more videos in the future. Lots of videos. So, thank you.